Welcome to the world of numbers and equations, where Joseph's here to teach no hesitation. Exploring math concepts in a fun, creative way. From calc to stats, Joseph saves the day. The same as a language, so do what it says. You can use it in the real world and even in your head to make your brain ignite and your curiosity burn. It's math's whole purpose, so prepare to learn.
I'm here at the University of Cincinnati basketball arena where I'm watching the women's basketball team play. I timed myself my way here, and I know it took me exactly 22 minutes to get here, with part of the way being a driving portion and part of the way being a walking portion. If the driving portion took me 15 minutes, how could I figure out a way to know how long the walking portion was? We can set up an equation.
Take a second and try to write out this equation by yourself. See if you can solve it too. Even if you don't know how to do it, try to give it your best shot. The first step to writing out an equation is trying to figure out what we already know. We already know the total time it took me to arrive at the basketball arena was 22 minutes, so we can write that down. We also already know that 15 of those minutes I was driving in a car. We then need to ask ourselves, what do we need to find? In this situation, we need to find how long I was walking. Even if you don't really understand how to write an equation yet, the one thing that I'm sure you do know is that every equation has an equal sign. Now we can just write down information that we already know. Our total time traveled should be on one side, and our time in the car plus our time walking should be on the other. This equation is a balanced equation because on one side we have the total time, and on the other we have two parts of the total time that when added up are equal to the total time. We already noted earlier that the total time traveled is 22 minutes and the time in the car was 15 minutes, so let's write those in. We don't have a number for the time walking yet, and that's okay because it's an unknown number. It's what we're trying to solve for. In equations, whenever we have an unknown number, we call it a variable. A variable just represents an unknown number. A lot of times when solving equations, you're not going to use a written out variable like time walking. You're going to use a letter that represents it, like A, B, or C, or any other letter of the alphabet. It's most common to use the letter X, so that's what we're going to use here. In order to solve any equation, we want to isolate our variable. This means to get your variable by itself. In this situation, we need to get X by itself. To get our variable X by itself, we want to look at the side of the equation that has the variable on it. In this situation, it's the right side. This side says 15 plus X. We want to think to ourselves, if we wanted to get X by itself right here, what would we do? We would subtract 15. See, if you subtract 15 from 15 plus X, you're going to get X. Now looking back at our equation isn't just 15 plus X, it's 22 equals 15 plus X. So what we're going to do is take our 15 that we figured out earlier and subtract it from both sides to keep the equation balanced. On the left side, we have 22 minus 15 is 7, and on the right side, it's 15 plus X minus 15, which is just X. So our solution to this equation is 7 equals X. This means that our final answer to my question, how long was I walking for, is 7 minutes.
To the beach, y'all. Yeah. Now basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court. I keep it so fresh on the microphone. I like no interruption when the game is on. I like slam dunk to take me to the hoop. My favorite play is the alley-oop. I like the pick and roll. I like the give and go. And it's basketball. Bow wow, let's go.
Here at the University of Cincinnati women's basketball game where the women take on Texas Tech University. Star player Jillian Hayes is currently averaging 12 points per game. If she wants to score her season average in this game, how many points does she need to score for each quarter? Again, for this equation, let's write out what we need to know and what we need to find. What we know is that Jillian Hayes averages 12 points per game. We also know that there are 4 quarters in a basketball game. Then we need to find how many points Jillian needs to score in each quarter to keep her average at 12 points per game. The easiest part of any equation is the equal sign, so let's write that down. We can then write Jillian's season average on one side and the number of quarters times the number of points she needs to score in each quarter on the other. Since we know her season average is 12 points per game, we can write in 12. We also know the number of quarters in a basketball game, which is 4, so let's write that in as well. Let's then replace the number of points she needs to score in each quarter with just the letter P as our variable. In order to isolate our variable P in this equation, we need to figure out how to get P by itself. To do that, let's just look at the side that has P on it. We see that 4 times P divided by 4 just equals P, so let's divide both sides by 4. Dividing both sides of the equation by 4 gives us 12 divided by 4 equals 4 times P divided by 4. The right side we already found is just P. The left side, which is 12 divided by 4, should equal 3. So our final equation is 3 equals P. This means that Jillian Hayes needs to score 3 points per quarter in order to meet her season average of 12 points per game.
Library on the campus of University of Cincinnati, where they charge 3 cents per overdue book, plus an additional 1 cent for every month the book is overdue. If I owe 6 cents for this book, how many months has it been overdue?
Let's again look at what we know and what we need to find. We know that the library charges 3 cents per overdue book. We also know that they charge an additional 1 cent per month the book is overdue. We need to find out that if I owe the library 6 cents, how many months have I had the book overdue? Let's again start out with an equal sign. On one side of the equation, we can put our total amount owed, which is 6 cents. On the other side, let's put our 3 cents per every book that's overdue, plus an additional 1 cent per month the book is overdue. Our X is going to represent number of months overdue. Let's now look at the side of the equation with our variable on it, the right side. In order to get our variable x by itself, we need to do 2 things. The first is subtract 3 cents. After that, we see that we need to divide by 1 cent. Then we get x. So we need to do those operations to each side in order to get our final answer. Subtracting 3 cents from each side gives us on the left side 6 cents minus 3 cents, which is just equal to 3 cents, and 3 cents plus 1 cent times x minus 3 cents on the right side, which just gives us 1 cent times x. We then need to divide 1 cent on each side. So on the left side, 3 cents divided by 1 cent is just 3, and on the right side, 1 cent times x divided by 1 cent is just x. So our final equation is 3 equals x. This means that I had the book overdue for 3 months. Man, I'm hungry.
Hi, are you using a Moab today?
No, thank you. Could I actually just get a 6-piece nugget Happy Meal?
Okay, sauce?
Barbecue sauce and a Sprite.
Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, have a good day.
Thank you.
Alright.
Bye.
So you have the kids' meal?
Yep.
$5.17.
Thank you.
Would you like a receipt?
No, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Happy meal with a Sprite?
Yep.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. In modern Happy Meals, each meal comes with apple slices, a small fry, a 6-piece nugget, and of course, a toy. On the McDonald's website, it says that each Happy Meal box contains 475 calories. If we say that the French fries and the apple slices together take up 225 of those calories, how could we set up an equation to know how many calories one nugget takes up out of the 6-piece nugget? What do we know and what do we need to find? We know that the total Happy Meal contains 475 calories. We also know that the fries and the apples together take up 225 of those calories. We need to find how many calories are in one nugget out of the 6 in the Happy Meal box. Let's start with an equation sign. We can then put our total 475 calories on one side, and then on the other, put 225 calories plus 6 nuggets times our variable x, which is the number of calories in each nugget. To isolate our variable x, let's look at our right side to see what operations we need to do to both sides. The first number that we can get rid of from the right side is 225. So let's subtract 225 from each side of the equation, which gives us on the left side 250 and on the right side 6x. The next operation we can do is divide each side by 6. On the left side we get 250 divided by 6, which is about 41.7, and on the right side we just get x. This means that our final equation is 41.7 equals x. This tells us that each nugget in a Happy Meal box has about 41.7 calories.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
Nothing out that don't solve me, can only make me smarter. I need math, I need equations, solving equations gonna make me ponder. Balanced equation, each side equal you see, step by step, that's the key. Gotta break it down, can't let it linger. Multiple steps, I eat math for dinner. Work it, solve it, equation solver. More steps, math is hard no longer. From left to right, balance is the key. Solving equations, they can't stop me. First step, add subtract with ease. Move the constants, aim to please. Isolate variables, keep it clear. Second step's coming, gotta steer. Multiply, divide, gotta maintain. Both sides equal, that's the brain game. Positive, negative, watch them align. Multiple steps, math's design. First step, add subtract with ease. Move the constants, aim to please. Isolate variables, keep it clear. Second step's coming, gotta steer. Multiply, divide, gotta maintain. Both sides equal, that's the brain game. Positive, negative, watch them align. Multiple steps, math's design. Variables and numbers, they are defined. Solving the equations, it's math's design. Stay focused, don't lose your sight. Math is complex, but we'll take the fight. Solve them one by one, step by step. Multiple equations will intersect. Math is hard, but we can conquer. Solving equations make the brain stronger. Work it, solve it, equation solver. More steps, math is hard no longer. From left to right, balance is the key. Solving equations can't stop me. Work it, solve it, equation solver. More steps, math is hard no longer. From left to right, balance is the key. Solving equations can't stop me.